Hi everyone. The lights are really, really bright. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I can't see your facial expressions. But first, my name is Zoe and I'm the Lived Experience Project Lead at Mental Illness Fellowship of Australia, also known as MIFA. The initiatives that I'm talking about with you today is Finding North. There's a Finding North website and a Finding North network, which are two different services, and I'll be telling you a little bit. But aside from that, I really wanted to use this opportunity more as a storytelling and more of a reflections of what we've really learned in the last 18 months of developing this project. But before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners in which we meet on today, and I pay my respects to the elders past and emerging. And as always, as someone with a lived experience, I'm paying my respects and I'm acknowledging those with living and lived experience here today. And I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, which I'm staring at plenty of them today to give me this opportunity. As someone with a woman of colour, neurodiverse, and also with a living experience of mental health distress, sometimes it's really not, hard to see people that look like you in these particular places. So for me, I know for some people that are seeing me today, it means a lot to them for them to see me, an awkward introvert to be here today, and a bit scared all the time, but just being really vulnerable and open about it because I can see people and people that I love and my allies showing me all the support. So Finding North really is a concept that changes and also transcends through time. I don't know in what culture that I've ever looked into that they don't have a story about the North Star. So really, it's about you having your own North, and that might change, but it's always there. So sometimes you don't see it, sometimes you don't know where it is, but it's still there. And with the help of your loved ones, with the help of other people's support, you will find what your North is. Really, what's your North? Today, actually last night, when I was looking at this slide, I said to myself, I'm going to tell you my usual spiel. And my usual spiel goes like this. My North 10 years ago was about waking up and getting out of bed. That was my North. My North nowadays is to use my lived experience and do all these amazing things on the stage. But last night, when I was looking at that particular picture up there, I thought, that's too happy for me. That's not where I am today. I'm currently in not the best place, and I have to remember that not every day is going to be a good day, especially for someone with a lived experience like me, but that is okay. But this particular photo, I created it when I had the best energy. I would say I'm at 90%. But when I looked at that picture yesterday, it didn't feel right to me. So I just wanted to say that your North might change every day, every hour, every minute, and that is okay. And you've got people who will meet you where you are at today. And that's what the network really is about. So our vision really is for people, their families and friends to be inspired to find and get the help that they need. And also the network, it's about influencing and allowing people with lived experience of mental health conditions to lead systems reform. Now, the last two presentations have shown you what we need to do to continue. And this network, it's a little bit different. It's not the lived experience leadership that you've heard about, but it's also a really important part to allow people to explore what that actually means. So Finding North Network is an exclusive network, so it's online and you can actually download it. So what that means is you can come online, you can join, and it's basically an online community of practice. So we know that there is lived experience leadership everywhere, but sometimes it's quite scattered and you don't know where anything is. I'm very new into this sector, our industry, whatever we want to call it. And when I was doing my research about it, I was like, oh my goodness, I found out about Lelyn. Why didn't I know that from Queensland? And then I found out about Comwa in Perth and Western Australia. And I was like, why are these not all connected? So the actual network actually tries very hard to connect everything on a national level. So when people actually come into this network, they'll be like, oh, what does lived experience leadership mean in this particular capacity? Because lived experience, the term is so loaded, and when you're out there in the general public, lived experience means everything. It can mean everything from my culturally diverse community, whether it is domestic violence. The word lived experience can be really complicated and hard to understand. But within this particular context of mental health, mental conditions, did you know that I had to tell people that I didn't understand that I had to be given the permission to actually understand that I didn't have to use the word mental illness. It wasn't until that I came into this network, I designed this network with my amazing team of co-design and advisory group, where I talked about my mental ill health. And one particular lived experience leader said to me, "I don't identify with the word mental illness." That was a shocker for me. I never knew that I can use other terms. So this is a place for people to learn about these things in a safe environment and question your own thoughts, because I myself have a lot to do. I need to unlearn, relearn, and learn every single day. And this is a good, I would say, a safe enough environment to do that. So in terms of the beliefs and values, it's quite straightforward. We've done a lot of research about what we think will make an environment safe enough for people to learn, where they can make mistakes and also own up to do it, and for people to teach in every single way. Come by the booth later and say hi to us, and I can show you the network, because it's really fun and there's a lot to do on there. What we're looking to measure is a bit boring, so I kind of skim past this, is that we're really looking to evaluate whether or not people that come onto this network have improved their skills or knowledge. What we found was that what are skills and knowledge? It's actually really individual to the person. And when we say that is, we ask the question is, what's your north, and what does lived experience leadership mean to you? Their response was phenomenal. It was so crazy, it was so different, and it was a shocker for us, because some people said, my lived experience leadership goal is to learn how to use Zoom. Someone's lived experience leadership goal was, I want to be a lived experience advocate. How do I do that? So aside from that, when we asked why people joined the network, really, most of them really were already amazing mentors and within this sector for a while, and really wanted to give back and teach people, because that's what we've been missing, right? Is that camaraderie and the connection that we have, that we haven't been able to connect with each other for so long. Mentoring each other using their lived experience. One of the quotes that I really like the most is the one on the bottom, is, know that the stigma and discrimination is tough, and they are passionate, encouraging leadership in others with lived experience. Network functionality, I'll quickly skim over them, but it's a white labeled platform. What that means is we can create it, change it according to your needs. So when we first started this network, we had very minimal functionalities. It's kind of like a private Facebook group. But then we had a lot of lived experience artists on there, photographers, and they said, I want to share my lived experience through the lens of photography, through the lens of art, poems. So we actually created a portfolio where they have their own profile and they can share everything they want. That was their way of contributing to the lived experience movement. But then I guess it was important for us to know that there were also other people who were not there yet. There are people that are still not comfortable with talking about their lived experience, but we wanted to let them know that there are people who out there who will accept you and your lived experience is valid. So that's why the functionality with the asterisk privacy feasibility is there. People can select to join the network and be completely confidential in it. When you join the network, you will actually have your first name and only the first letter of your last name. You have the choice to decide whether or not you want to put your LinkedIn in, your resume in, your details in, as much or as less as you like, because it's important for people to have that choice. We currently have 211 active members, and we have members from different levels. We call a lot of them silent users. So these are people who are not actively on the platform by replying, posting, or uploading things on the the actual network. But what they're doing is they're scrolling, reading content as well. So we have a lot of people who say that they love reading our emails, for example. So in different ways, we are hoping to inspire and make them, network members, know a little bit more about lived experience leadership. So whether it is Leland, the work that Mark has been talking about, what lived experience leadership means in the actual workforce, or to the work that the National Mental Health Commission is doing, or the new peaks, this is a place we're trying to educate and show people that there's more to lived experience, and you can take your time to find what is right for you to use your lived experience. There we go. But I wanted to share with you some of the network members which have been given permission, but they're completely de-identified, to let you know how they've used the network differently. So this particular network member is an established lived experience consultant, and they use the platform to use various topic discussions, mentoring others, and also advertising their lived experience training. They've designed a particular course, which she always laughs at me and tells me is a very, very vanilla course when I went in to do it, but I found that it was quite activating for me because it was the first time I've been exposed to lived experience advocacy and understanding what it truly meant behind the history and the movement of it. What I've learned from her, this wonderful member, is that being mad is a good thing. Being cool and not thinking like everyone else is a good thing. And she taught me that no matter how uncomfortable I am, we're all here today, and it doesn't matter where you are, we're all at the same place at the same time, and it means we've got something good to share with each other. The second network member I want to share with you is amazing member who I just told you about, is that one of their lived experience goal was to actually learn how to use Zoom. Through 1 year of working with him, his lived experience goal has turned into creating his own website and sharing his lived experience story. The first time I met him, it was through a very lame quote of mine where I wrote on my title, "Be you, do you, for you." Ugh. Anyways, so he replied to that email instead of posting, and he said to me, "Thank you so much. This is the first time I've ever heard about someone sharing their lived experience. I never knew that. I've been ashamed and I've been hiding this for 30 years. Thank you so much for giving me the strength. I'm having a panic attack sending this email to you, but I want to do it." From then on, we worked together for 12 months. And from then, they've learned to do their own Zoom. They've also learned to tell their story. And just last week, they emailed me and said, "I told my mental health support workers and also my psychiatrists that I'm working on finding North Network, and I have shared my story. Now he has been employed for the first time using his lived experience in this space." And so his particular quote for me always makes me quite sentimental when he says, "After all this time, there has not been, until finding North Network, a platform for me to give this meaning." And lastly, this is an independent lived experience and disability advocate. This particular network member has gone through a lot of challenges, but is a strong advocate. And what we've also done is actually talk to these particular network members and ask them, what can we do as a network or as MIFA to help you? And what can we do? Our contribution in this particular movement is very little, but we want to do that anyway because that's where we are. And so what they have done is, and we actually gave them an opportunity to speak in front of DSS. And for an independent advocate with no affiliation with other organisations, that's very rare, and often their voices are not heard. And that is what we want to do and continue to do. So that's what the network looks like, and there's an app that you can download so you have instant notification, all the fun things. We run monthly meet and greet, so if you need help with technology or anything like that, our team is here to help. So, I think Faye will see her own picture here. Yes. So a part of the initiative about lived experience leadership is, okay, what can we do to support these lived experience amazing people? Oh, that's my timer. And one of it is really to actually show people that lived experience matters and we want lived experience to lead the way. So in 2022, we developed an e-symposium called Perspectives 2022, which was completely led by lived experience leaders. We had all walks of life coming. We had lovely Faye as our keynote, which also really inspired many other people. We had network members who've never ever thought that they can share their story on this kind of platform and also to be paid for it and be seen as a contribution. So we will be doing that again in 2024. So watch out. Here we go. Now, the next thing I wanted to really show you guys is Finding North, the website. So this is up and coming. We've recently launched it at the end of last year. Oh, that's a long while away now. Anyways, and the website was actually developed with my program director, Donna Didalik, who has facilitated the co-design group, and together, and some of them are here today. It's too bright, I can't see. But what they have done is really create a website for people to seek assistance in the easiest way possible. I don't know if you guys have been in this situation, but I've certainly gone through this, is in the middle of the night when I'm in extreme distress and I really need help and I can't function and I'm really overwhelmed. Trying to get help online can be really, really hard. And I am a millennial, so I'm used to using my phone and going on Google and go help. And sometimes these websites are really, really overwhelming. So the website is designed in mind to get you to this next step as easy as possible, but also embedded with lived experience. So whether it is stories, quotes. So if you ever want to contribute on this website and tell your story, your organization, or anything that you like, please let us know. We're always looking for people to contribute. And some of us are really, really proud of it. Sometimes it's their first time sharing their poem. Some of them is sharing their stories for the very first time in a very public manner. So this is what it looks like, and it'll be on the booth at the far end, so please come have a look. So it's quite easy to use and is very simple. All right, so I am done talking. So I really wanted to don't come up yet, not yet. It's that I wanted to end this on a high by showing you a video of many people who have contributed to this amazing project, what their North is, and play a really happy video. Hopefully this works.
For me, my North is being outdoors and in nature. Being able to have a swim in the ocean is something that centres me and helps me to find my North.
My North is using my lived experience story to provide hope to others.
My Finding North is a society in which people with mental illness and mental distress are treated as people without mental illness and mental distress.
My North is my faith.
So Finding North for me is finding my sunshine and happiness.
My North is being brave enough every day to challenge myself for the big things and grateful enough to be appreciative of the small things in life.
My North is connection and caring for others.
My North is that there were services around Australia that really catered for people with severe and persistent mental illness, and that the NDIS improved but kept providing services for it. And the reason why it's my North is that doing this work is the thing that gives me meaning in my day.
My North is to advocate for Asian Australians to have the opportunity to share and tell the world about their mental health and never to be ashamed of our community.
To live a contributing life. I am a person with lived experience of mental illness, and I do a lot of voluntary work and have done for more than 20 years in the mental health sector.
I actually don't know what my North is. as my story is changing. However, I'm really excited about the opportunities, about the possibilities in my future, about finding my new north.
It's real friendship and real family. It's connection and belonging.
It's really just being positive. Separate to that, in my home life, my north is really just riding my horse. There's nothing I can do that really sets me up for a great day than riding my horse.
Hey, what's my north? Knowing that people care about me, warts and all.
My north is spending time with my friends and family, singing, cooking and making beautiful food for the people I love.
My north is being true to myself, spend time with my family.
Knowing that I'm making a difference, knowing that I'm making a positive change.
My north is spending time with my family.
My north is finding balance in family, work and recreation.
Knowing my limits, but also taking time out, and my children and my family and friends, very important to me, and my work in mental health.
My north is a treasure trust of freedoms from oppression. I don't know the exact location yet, but when I get there, I'm going to make sure there's enough gems for all of my peers.
My north is my family, my friends, and thinking that social justice is achievable and that we can all live in an equitable society.
My north is my family, my kids, my wife, my connection to community, so that's my north.
I think my north is just life. Life is just the most amazing gift that we have, and the potential to experience, to live, to see the stars, to see the dust, to see everything. Life is my north.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please come to the booth because I think we're running out of time. But also, yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
That's my phone.
Zoe did say to me before the session she didn't want questions in the session, so this is
say
what...
that out loud.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to, not feel like I'm the bad guy and I'm cutting her off. I'm not. And that was a wonderful way to end this session so that we all come out of here going, what is lived experience leadership? Where am I in that? What can I do to increase it, empower it, participate, make pathways, whatever is going to be your process in that. So thank you so much for coming to this session. Can we thank all of our speakers?